That town hall, as you mentioned, it is virtual. It starts tonight at 6 o'clock. The work on site, as you can see, is far from over. But the EPA, the lead agency on this cleanup project for now, has already collected more than 312,000 gallons of contaminated liquid from the site. Now, though, that contaminated liquid will be treated right on site underground here. It was an eyesore that turned out to be so much more. Thousands of gallons of toxic chemicals seeping onto the freeway back in December. It left people who live off of I-696 in Madison Heights, like BRADY, seriously worried.
I quit going to the pubs on that area because you just don't know what's really in the air and in the ground around there.
Madison Heights drinking water was not impacted, but the ooze contained dangerous chemicals like hexavalent chromium, which now the EPA, with the help of Eagle, has to clean up. The ooze came from Electroplating Services, a company whose owner, Gary Sayers, has a history of improperly storing chemicals. Remediation started with sump pumps, moving the dangerous liquids off-site for disposal. But that was only a Band-Aid and couldn't work in the long term. Now,
we're treating that contaminated water in place underground. So we're injecting chemicals that will degrade those contaminants and then allow them to flow off.
Eagle installed a system to do this a couple of weeks ago, and once final tests are done, the sump pumps will be removed. Most of this work has been done in the midst of the pandemic.
But we did have to make some modifications.
Like setting up separate trailers for workers to social distance and reducing the number of crews on site at one time. But the pace didn't let up, according to Eagle. Now they're focused on getting the Electroplating Services building demolished so they can deal with the core materials left there.
That's still in legal proceedings right now between the city of Madison Heights and the owner, Gary Sayers.
All right, Jen, a couple of quick questions here for you. What's the timeline for the cleanup at this point? And importantly, who's going to foot the bill for this cleanup? Who's paying for all this?
Well, I'll start with the cleanup, the timeline for that, Keenan. The infrastructure in place right now underground to treat that contaminated liquid can be in place for 3 to 5 years. So that gives you a scope of just how big of a cleanup process this is going to be. As for the cost, Eagle says it should fall on the owner, Gary Sayers, but they say if he can't foot the bill, it's going to end up falling on the taxpayers. Again, that virtual town hall tonight is from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. It is via Zoom. You can head to our website, WXYZ.com, for a link. Pre-registration is encouraged, but it's not required. Keenan?